Hello, Fable here again. Adult toys, yay or nay? I can say I did not discover adult toys until about 6 years ago, as they didn't do anything for me. Yes, I was in a sexless marriage, and people are shocked that I didn't try toys. But what can I say? I like the real thing. I discovered I like toys when I'm with someone else who and someone else introduced them to me. They were present, and can I just say, wow, it was a whole new experience for me. Wow, what an amazing gift. I still have them, but I have not played with them by myself. Another thing that I discovered is that I like role playing. I also discovered I liked to dominate, to be dominated sometimes. And when I say dominated, I don't mean to the extreme like 50 Shades of Grey. If that's your thing, go for it. Again, not judging if you do. Let me tell you what I define as extreme. That's just me. I met this guy, great guy, big teddy bear. We met a few times and then poof, he ghosted me. That's the one thing that I despise. Like, we're all adults here. Just say, hey, I've got a lot going on now personally with work, or I met someone else. Just don't ghost me. Give me some kind of explanation. I know there's probably crazies out there that, just keep texting and when you say no and begging you. And I've heard it. I've heard friends that have done it. Guy and girlfriends. They're like, I don't know why she just ghosted me. I don't, or she said she's, got a lot going on, and get the hint. Just move on. And I was in the car with my son's, at the time, girlfriend, and we're driving and we're talking and having conversation, and she asked if I had heard from him. And I said, no. And she said, I just have a feeling you're going to hear from him again. I was like, yeah, okay. And, well, I kid you not. We got where we were going. I get a text, and it's from him. No lie. We both looked at each other, and we were like, that's creepy. That's really creepy that we're just talking about this. Like, is my car bugged? Is my phone bugged? He was a tech guy. He told me about things coming out on the iPhone that hadn't come out yet. So that was a little creepy. And, he asked how I was doing. How are you? And so I told him I would reach out in a day or so, that I was out. To be honest, I waited a couple of days. Figured, you ghosted me, no explanation. You deserve to wait a couple of days. So I texted him. He wanted to talk on the phone, which I love when guys want to talk on the phone. I prefer to talk on the phone than texting. We chatted a bit, and then he invited me over, as he explained in our conversation that we were having, that he liked to dominate a woman, and he felt I wouldn't be into that. I said, oh, you may have misjudged me. And I went over, and when I got there, he was his usual gentleman self, and we talked some and caught up. And then his personality changed. And he said, I'm going to show you in a non-sexual way what I mean when I say I like to dominate a woman. He instructed me that no matter what he tells me, that I must answer yes, sir, or I will be punished. He began giving me instructions, which he called commands. I forgot to say it after the second command. So to say, yes, sir. And he said to me, "This is your first and last warning. You must always address me as sir and always answer me with yes, sir." I was like, okay. And it was really like Jekyll and Hyde, the teddy bear and Mr. Dominating. He gave me silly commands like, sit on the floor, take off your shoes, take off your socks, etc. Well, the next time I forgot to say, sir. Wham! He took his big, huge hand, open hand, slapped me so hard across the face. I first had to catch my breath. Was in shock. Besides, in shock myself, in shock that this was him. And then I stood up and I said, "You're right. I'm out. Not for me." And he went back to his big teddy bear self in a couple seconds. I put my socks and shoes on. And he grabbed an umbrella because it was raining out. Walked me to my car. Gave me a hug and said goodnight. So yeah, that was a bit of a shock. And that's how he liked to. So he said in his 20s, he was with an older woman and she was this big head of a company. And she felt it was her way of releasing her pressure. And she wanted him to dominate her and he loved it. And that's why his marriage ended. Because he thought, oh, I'm married now, married man. But he said, I crave it. So you crave it, then that's fine. But there are sites for that. And like I said, no judgment here. If that's what you like, it's just not for me. So the funny thing about him is an old neighbor and friend of me and my siblings that we grew up with, just a couple of doors down from us. My brother and sister were having dinner with her, and they invited me to join them. She told me where she lived now while we were at dinner and in the course of catching up. I told her I had met a guy that lived there, but kind of didn't work out. She asked me his name. Then she asked me, does he have 2 young girls? A couple other questions. And I'm like, yes. And she said, he's my neighbor. And I'm thinking, oh boy. She then went on to say, what a great, sweet, gentle giant he is. That he's always shoveling, clearing cars off, helping bring in the groceries for the neighbors. Just an all-around great guy. So it was then that I kind of felt compelled to tell her my story and encounter with him. And what he expects from a woman. I mean, this is her neighbor. I did tell her the sweet, gentle side of him. Up until then, she couldn't believe it. So I just said, listen, never know. He could ask out. Just want to know what you're in for. Let you know what you're in for. So she's like, oh, that's not my cup of tea either. So I'm like, oh, well, okay. So she says, I would have never thought that. So when I say you need to have a conversation about your likes and dislikes in the bedroom with someone you meet, you really do. Because just never know. And we're adults. You need to have this conversation. And if that's something, it didn't work out in his marriage because he kind of put it to the side because thought, okay, I'm a married man, and put it to the side, and he craved it and wanted it. But the funny thing is, I see him in Costco and he's still alone. So I get that he still craves it, but he hasn't found that person yet. And I feel bad because if that's something you really want in a relationship, you should have it. And there's people out there, evidently, that, enjoy that. And I feel bad. But, so, I was just like, yeah, you really. So, and don't judge a book by its cover, as you never know. So that's why you might, oh, this guy is great, amazing. I'm thinking this guy's big teddy bear. He was telling me all about it, his girls and taking care of them and doing their hair. And I'm thinking, wow, this is a catch. How is this guy still single? Now I know. So, person might have a secret side. Never know. And hey, like I said, might like that secret side. But back to toys. If you and or your partner have never tried toys, thought they weren't for you, maybe just give them a try. Start with something simple. See if maybe then you and or your partner would like toys using them together. I mean, I just, like I said, still to this day, nope, not by myself. They just, I don't, they don't do anything for me. So if you and your partner have been together for a while, maybe it's a way to spice things up and try something new. I love a blindfold. That's not a toy per se, but maybe that's a place to start if, you're not really sure about, toys. But to me, the blindfold, it's not knowing what your partner is going to do. Then once they do, not knowing where they're going next, what they're going to do next, that's a big turn on for me. I also have this thing that attaches to your thighs and then has a chain and attached to your wrist. So you're kind of limited to your mobility and your wrists are attached to your thighs. And I don't like to be tied down. So this was a compromise. I don't mind it. Not being able to, for the most part, move and not be in control does turn me on. And I also have saw them on 50 Shades of Grey, don't like all the other stuff, some of the other stuff, but the vaginal balls. And again, I put them in, figured I'd try them. Really didn't do anything for me. But partner I was with at the time, I let him put them in, play with them. Wow. I was like, okay, big wow here. And role playing. It's, to me, such a turn on, pretending to be someone else and your partner's someone else, sitting at a bar, then having them come in like 20 minutes later, maybe sitting down the bar or sending a drink, you then signaling them to come over, or them sitting next to you, kind of not really paying attention to you, then a little chit chat, and then the conversation builds from there. And then after a while of chit chat, and you whisper in his or her ear, and you say to them, want to go back to my place? Or want to take me to your place? Or slip a room key if you're at a hotel, slip a room key into their pocket and say, room 212, give me 5 minutes and then come up. Now, you whisper, but you kind of whisper, a loud whisper, so that people can kind of maybe hear a little bit, bits and pieces of what you're saying. And to me, the look on people's faces is priceless and a turn on. Again, a turn on. Because they're thinking these two strangers just started talking at the bar, especially other guys that are like looking like, whoa. And you're thinking, wonder if they're thinking, hey, that could have been me. And they're wishing they were that guy. So, or girl. That's just, to me, big turn on. Big turn on. So, and also the fact, again, pretending to be someone else. So, as always, everyone needs to do what they feel comfortable with. So maybe if you're not comfortable with the whole, doing it in public, try at home. So when your partner, they're about to come home dressed in something sexy, this is if the kids aren't around or the kids no longer live with you, make sure they have a key. You kind of say, warn me if you're coming over. Hey. My daughter sitting in my living room. Oh, forgot to tell you, I'm coming for the weekend. Really? Thank God. I'm just sitting here watching TV. So, word of advice, warn your children. So, when your partner comes home, like I said, something sexy, greet them at the door, pretend that there's someone else, and that your partner that you're with, husband, wife, is working late, out of town. I think the excitement of working late and come on, let's go. We only have a limited amount of time. And that could be because the kids are going to be home in like 2 hours. So you pretend that, the partner's out of town, working late and So give other names, give other backgrounds, maybe an accent. It's just something to try. And to me, again, it's a turn on. It's a turn on to pretend you're someone else. You're with someone else. You maybe, you're that fan. You wish you were a certain woman or man, and you pretend to be that person. And for that limited time, you are that person. So this to me, toys, role play, being tied up, hey, some people like it. Just not my thing. I know many of my friends that like so many different things. Not gonna divulge them. But everything isn't for everyone. And if you've been together a really long time, maybe you just never had that conversation and afraid to have that conversation. Maybe your partner was afraid to have that conversation. So maybe having that conversation, listen, opens up a whole new thing. So, but this, I always say, you never know until you try it. So I decided, with the help of my therapist when I got divorced, that I'm willing to try new things. Not just sexually, but overall. Especially try new things that scare me. Like push my limits, push myself. If I do like it, well, I'm going to do it again and again. And if I don't, oh well, I tried. I don't want to have any more what ifs in my life. I have too many already. What if? I don't want to have them. So just try to go in with an open mind. Someone says something to me, I'm like, nope, never tried that, but I'm going to try it. If I like it, okay, good. If I don't, well, we're not going to do it again. Unless it's something I don't care for, but he really liked, and I would, it would be okay if I did it from time to time. So just try to broaden your horizons and try new things. And like I said, if you're in a relationship, you're not in a relationship, you're divorced, you're single, whatever. And as for the health front, I did very good. Caesar salad with grilled chicken tonight. Did not walk as much as I wanted to because lovely weather, rained, didn't get to go to the movie on the beach, so I didn't go to the boardwalk, so I didn't walk on the boardwalk. So I probably walked not quite 4,000 steps again. So, but my eating is good. I had a protein shake for breakfast, egg bites for lunch, Caesar salad with grilled chicken for dinner. So I think I'm doing pretty good. So I'm going to sign off. Excuse my attire. I'm ready for bed. And I know second post of the day, but this was on my mind. Jotted down some notes today, and it's just like, wow. I mean, I touched on sex, so why not the toys, the role play, everything that goes with it, right? Hey, so I hope everybody's enjoying this so far. If you are, share away. So, if you do, please like my videos. I'm not doing this to be famous or whatever. I just want feedback. And like I said, if I help one person, I'll be happy in any way, shape, or form. So hopefully over time too, you'll be seeing less and less of me. People say, the first thing they say, which annoys me, is, oh, I could tell in your face. No, that's not where I want to lose it. I want to lose it in my ass and thighs. So, yes. Just like my video, comment. Even if you don't like it, I'd like honest to goodness feedback. I have no professional equipment to record me or anything. Just doing this to kind of accountability for my journey and why I'm doing this. Talking about my journey up till this point. Things that I've learned. So, I'm really going to sign off now. So I'm very tired. It is Eastern Standard Time. It's almost midnight. Work in the morning. So this is Fable signing off. Good night.